Hello, my name is Maria Paula and today I'm going to tell the story called The Open Boat. The story was written by the American author Stephen Crane and was published in 1897. The story is based on Crane's experience of surviving a shipwreck in the coast of Florida earlier that year while he was traveling to Cuba to work as a newspaper correspondent. The cranes is trained at the sea 30 hours when his ship, the SS Commodore, sank after hitting a sandbar. In the first instant, he published a report in which he described all the situation that he lived. After that, he adapted into a narrative form, and the story The Open Boat resulted. The story is considered one of his most meaningful works due to the symbolic and ironic plot. You can imagine the story narrates the distressing conditions that four men live after the shipwreck. The first character is the cook, who is very comical, but very optimistic no matter the setbacks. The second one is the correspondent, who is a condescending observer. The third one is the captain, who is injured and morose due to his lost ship. The last one is the oiler, Billy, who is the strongest and in charge of guiding the boat. And the story set in the myriad of colors that the sky and the sea intertwine and reflect in the most powerful parts of the day, the dawn and the sunset. And also the colors were associated to concrete objects, for example the waves with the slate and the mounts with the foam, and also with the conception that the all people really know what the color of the sea is. Disadvantage of the sea is that the overwhelming silence that it's produced when the waves kept calm didn't fill up with peace the hearts of the men. On the contrary, they feel the anguish they were feeling. All the atmospheres is like a picturesque and beautiful painting because the mixture of the colors and the lights that the sun and the moon produce. The four men didn't see it because they had other things in which they have to think. For example, the situation and the way that they were going to survive. The process of the breaking day was not for them, and only when the moonlight and the sunlight were reflected in the sea, where they realize that the day is coming or the day is finished. In the first day, the silence was broken by the correspondent and the cook. He discussed about the difference of the life-saving station and the house of refuge. And at night, the second conversation took place in regards to the moonlight that was reflected in the sea. At the same time, the ghost flew near to them and looked them in a way that they show their power and their strength. In that moment, the captain saw a lighthouse and this broad illusion that the island of the beach could be near to them and the rescue it could be possible for them. The lighthouse was getting closer and closer and beating, and for that reason, the situation was worried for them because they didn't see any sign that make the illusion that in that place there were people who can save them. For that reason, the captain proposed that in the next day they have to swim in order to get the island of the land that could be near to them. For that reason, they continued racing, and after that, the captain again proposed that make tours in order that they can take a rest and also get force and power to continue with the adventure in the next day. The next day, when they opened their eyes, the sun was illuminated the old atmosphere, and the sea got a color similar to the emerald green. And also, it was the time to face the sea because the immense force and the resistance of the world would be destroyed by the waves. During that period of time, they were thinking in the insignificant thing that the human being is for the nature and the world. When the strongest wave arrived, they jump into the sea and they have to swim a couple of hours. And suddenly they found a man, and instantly the beach was populated with people who brought blankets, clothes, flags, and coffee pots, and the welcome was very warm and generous, and it was the end of the story. The power of this story is not only about the content, but also about the relationship that a human being can make into the reality, because there are several problems that the human being have to overcome in order to get a life more significant and more accordingly to the world and to their objectives and desires.